Live. Sorry, I was drinking. We're live.
Oh, we're live. Hey, Merry Christmas,
Sorry.
everybody.
I forget you can't see the 3, 2,
I
1.
can't see the stuff.
Only I see the 3, 2, 1. I'm like, she must know it's live. I'm just going to take a sip.
Oh my goodness. Well, we're recording this live for
Clearly. Sorry.
for the Christmas Eve episode of Catholic Mom. So Catholic Momcast in 3, 2, 1. Welcome to this special edition of Catholic Momcast. I'm your host, Maria Johnson, and with me today is Allison Gingras, and we are so dressed and festive in our bright red colors, ready for office parties and etc., etc.
For those watching on video, I'm going to stand up so you can see my festive little reindeer. So cute. It says Merry Christmas. It's got this vintage sleeve going on with sparklies and dots. I don't think it's ugly. I think it's cute. I don't think I'm going to win the contest this year at Holy Cross Family Ministries.
For ugly.
No.
I think those parties are funny. The ugly sweater contests.
They're a blast.
Honestly, it's just fun to dress up. I think for parties and the festivier, the better.
Yeah, I don't think you ever outgrow that. I don't think you outgrow dress up. Like, I love getting on a really pretty dress and doing my hair and my makeup and some shoes I can barely walk in. I enjoy that, weirdly enough.
I'm just wearing a classy white sweater with a pashmina.
Very pretty red pashmina.
Thank you. So, what are we going to talk about? It's Christmas Eve, and I'm looking forward to Mass tonight. That really, for me, is the peak of Christmas. I love to go Christmas Eve. For many years, we've gone to the vigil because the grandkids have been in the program. But I don't know. Am I going to do it this year? They're not in it. So I don't know if I'm just going to go early Saturday morning or what I'm going to do. But Mass is definitely a highlight.
Mine too. I host Christmas Eve, so I need to be home. And then I'm too exhausted for the midnight mass. And the older I get, the harder it is for me to rebound from hosting. But I really do like the day of mass. Like, I'm a Sunday mass goer. I like going to mass. Like the vigil is great. Like, it comes in handy. Like, we just had a giant snowstorm here, and it was nice to have gone the night before and just watch the snow fall instead of thinking, how am I going to get to mass in this? Because even though I live in New England, I cannot drive in the snow. But it was so I really like the morning mass. Our kids are grown, so the whole chaos of Santa and the stockings and the gifts, that we don't really have that anymore. So we get up leisurely, have a nice breakfast and coffee, and then we do a later mass though, like the 10:30. I don't rush off, but yeah.
That's our usual time as well. Well, it's funny to think about how things change every year. I mean, the birth of Christ is always the center of it. In some seasons in my life, it wasn't. And, right? And so...
can we dive into a little bit?
Into that?
Yeah, because... All right, so Maria, I don't mean to cut you off, and I'm sorry. You probably had a very brilliant thought, and I've just ruined it forever. Sorry, but this is something that I just struggle with every single year. My whole life is centered on Christ. The job that I've chosen, the work that I do, the ministry that I do, even my extracurricula, like my reading is all Christ-centered. My whole life is Christ until I get to Christmas. And then, because I don't have a family that follows the faith and is very secular in their celebration of the holiday, I struggle to make Christ the center of my Christmas. And every year I vow I'm going to. And every year Christmas Eve comes, the whole family piles in. We get into our old habits of eating and drinking and making merry. We exchange gifts. They go home, and I think, did I even remember to do grace before we ate? Like, what part of coming to my home said to my family that I celebrate the birth of Christ and not just the birth of more gifts? This is a real struggle for me.
That's an honest assessment of your celebration. Do you keep Christ at the center in your heart? I mean, there's a whole evangelization problem there also, in that, It's your home. Do you have a creche out?
Oh
Um,
yeah, it's ginormous. It's huge. Like it's almost life size.
oh, there you go.
And it's next to the tree. I used to put it under the tree, but
Uh-huh.
then it would get buried. So now it's next to the tree, and it's yeah. So yeah, I do that. That yeah. Keep going, wisdom woman.
Okay, well, I'm just thinking that you also need to celebrate for yourself, you know. And there's can you find a time for you to sit in silence at some point, you know? Because the thing about Christmas is that the noise started, you know, on Thanksgiving or before Thanksgiving. I know some people who
Uh,
decorate for Christmas for Thanksgiving, and I don't know. I think that we have such different seasons in our lives and we move through these things. And I can say this now in my 60s that I look back on my life and I can, you name it, the way that somebody has celebrated Christmas, and we've probably done it that way. I remember one year I got really angry at, at the noise, and we didn't even put up a tree. I said, let's remember what the season is about. Well, that was a big old fat failure. That was horrible.
mm.
And at some point we picked up the Charlie Brown Christmas tree. That it's usually. Have you seen it?
Yes.
We just put it up in a corner. But even that story ends with the nativity story in Luke. So we did kind of bring Christ into it, but I can tell you that it's never been repeated. And my husband, in a passive aggressive rage, puts up the the Charlie Brown Christmas tree in his office. I think I'm gonna go take a picture of it and
Oh my gosh.
put it into the show notes. But yes, we have celebrated Christmas in a very secular way, in a very deeply spiritual way. I think that finally, somewhere maybe in my 40s, I figured out how to balance that and kind of keep it all together. But you know, every year is different, I think. And when you have small children, there's the you know you're kind of
Mm.
jumping into the whole wonder of the season. And I just went to the most beautiful little birthday party for baby Jesus at the Pauline
Oh,
Book
how
Centers.
fun.
Yeah, so they do an annual baby Jesus birthday party, and they serve cake and punch and or grape juice or whatever they had out, coffee for the grown-ups. But it really puts Jesus back into the center.
Yeah.
And you can take, instead of taking a picture with Santa Claus, you take a picture with baby Jesus. And they had
Oh my gosh, I love
costumes.
it.
They had costumes. So, you know, you've got
Oh,
the whole family dressing up like Joseph and Mary, and then all the little children are angels or whatever, the little animal costumes. It was just
oh,
precious.
that is precious.
So there
One of
are
the
ways to do this, you know,
yeah.
and here's the thing. I think that as a parent, for me, the hardest transition was when they got older and they were just jaded and they didn't want to participate in anything. You want to go
Mm.
look at Christmas lights? Ugh. You want to? We're going to midnight mass. Ugh. You
Yes.
know.
Yes.
But it changes, and these little seeds that we plant come back later because now, you know, one of my daughters loves to take the drive through the neighborhoods to look at the lights, you know,
Mm.
and I'm enjoying that with the grandsons now. You know, when I drive them home at night, that we take a long way to look at all the lights and look at the wonder of it. But
I love
yeah.
doing that. I do that frequently, and even driving home from work, I will go different routes during this time.
Mm.
So that I find, you know, like we have a couple of neighborhoods that are just crazy, like just Christmas crazy, and I love them. And I'll just drive just slowly through those on my way home from work. It's a great way to unwind. And one of the things we did when I kind of had my reversion when I was in my late 30s was I went from buying the kids everything that the stores had to offer to three gifts. And my thought was, Jesus got three gifts, you get three gifts.
Mm.
And they actually made them more thoughtful of like what they asked for. The gifts that they got, of course, were then more valuable because I was able to put a little bit more money into each gift instead of a bunch of junk that they'll, you know, it became this more meaningful way of giving and also teaching them about Christ. Like if it's good enough for Jesus to only get three gifts, it's good enough for you to get three gifts. And that so that was one way I brought that in And when my kids were little, I was better at it. I used to, and for Advent, I used to wrap up a book a night that was had either a moral story to it, or was Christmas based, or the nativity, but also just any Christmas book. And I would borrow them from the library, or I would purchase them new, or dump out their shelves and wrap them all, because the kids just love to unwrap stuff. So that became our Advent calendar. Was this book basket
Wow,
of
fun.
books? It was wonderful, and so each one would take a turn pulling out a book, unwrapping it, and then we would read that, leading up for their bedtime story. So that was a way. I think it was a little easier to bring Christ into our celebrations as an immediate family
Hmm.
when they were smaller. But now those same little boys that listen to these stories every night are now grown men who aren't practicing the faith. Um, but and I do have front and center on my Christmas tree is ornament that is a birthday cake, with a candle, and it says "Happy Birthday Jesus" on it, with the word Jesus on it. So if you look at my tree, I suppose that's another way of just like a little subtle. This is about Jesus, and it plays "Happy Birthday," which is kind of funny.
Oh, that's cute. Is that a holdover from when they were little, or is it
Um,
something new?
No, it's kind of like as they were growing older, it's kind of like in between. They were still here, but they weren't like little. But I know people who make birthday cakes and sing happy birthday to Jesus. I don't bake, so that's really not. I just buy the fake one that you stick on a tree.
Get some cupcakes. Get some cupcakes. That's fun.
But
Oh, well, there's so many different ways to celebrate. When we were absolute empty nesters and the kids were all gone, far away. We were living in Lower Alabama and South
Mhm.
Alabama, and so it wasn't easy for people to always get to spend time with us and on Christmas. Also, your kids grow up, they get married, they have their own little families, and then it just becomes you're no longer the host.
Yes.
You're going there most often.
The new trend I've noticed that I really love is the gift of experience.
That's what we do.
I love this. I love this gift of experience. One of the things, so for my gift to myself, really, because I end up paying for it, but that's all right. Because really, I just want the gift of time of
Mm.
my children. Is that we have one family adventure every Advent season where I rent a van when my son works for a rental company, so that works out nice. I get that for a nice cheap price. We have lots of different places you can visit to go look at lights. We have a shrine. We have this heritage flower place that's just ginormous, and it's lights from head to toe, and that's where we went this year. It's my favorite place to go. We do dinner together, so all seven of us go, the five immediate family plus a wife and an amazing little girlfriend that we love, and the seven of us get together, we do dinner, then we do this walk, and just I love, my favorite part and why I rent the car is I love the car ride. I miss having all my little people in one
Everybody
little
talking
place.
over each other.
Yes, yes, I love that. So that was our gift of experience, and
No
this was the
turning
best
around from
one.
the front seat to yell, "Stop touching each other."
Yeah, actually,
That doesn't
this
change.
happened. No, yeah, no, the two boys will do it on purpose just to get me going. I'm like, why
That's
are you two
awesome.
sitting next to each other?
We have, well, when we were in Alabama, we've only been here for, this will be our third Christmas year. Anyway, the botanical gardens in the places where I've
Oh,
lived put up beautiful, beautiful light shows. So Atlanta has a beautiful botanical garden that has
mhm.
exquisite lights, and in Mobile they have the Bellingraph Gardens, which is also just an exquisite walk. And so they're walking light shows,
Yeah, that's
and
what this is. Yeah,
yeah, it's so much fun. And they that these this is a business, so that it's over the top, and
right.
it's got music, and they have hot chocolate on the side, and you get, the tickets are exorbitant, so you better get that hot chocolate on your way out.
Well, I always look at it like this heritage museum that we go to like this is their fundraiser, so I never feel bad spending that extra amount to buy the tickets for all seven of us. But in New England, it's really kind of a crapshoot of what kind of weather we're gonna get. Like it can
Mm.
be 40s, which is fine for me. Like that to me is like balmy. But we've had snow, I like the snow, but the rain, we've had frigid like 12 degrees where you have to stop every 5 minutes to go in one of the buildings, so you literally don't
Mhm.
get frostbite. But that's kind of fun of the adventure as well. We also have a place called Edaville Railroad, which is an old working street steam train, easy for me to say, that you ride, and they have lights all along the woods where the train goes, which is actually kind of fun that my kids so they turned it, it was always just for the winter, just for Christmas. And a few years ago, to raise money to keep it going, they started to do a summer, like July, Christmas in July, which happened to fall on my birthday. And that was my gift for all of us to go. And it was interesting to hear my grown sons talk about how nostalgic and how all of those
Oh.
memories just meant the world to them. And like they were, kind of choked up to be there again as a family, grown up. Like you can get wine and beer, so we're walking around with our alcohol, like just a glass of wine or whatever, and they're like, this, it feels weird like to be sharing a
the
beer with
the
mom.
grown-up celebration.
Yeah,
Well, what
it
an
was
opportunity to integrate some other things. Our parish does a beautiful musical program,
oh
and
nice.
our local stations have been playing Santa Claus music, nonstop since Thanksgiving. And my children and I were in New York City not too long ago. We were walking down. We were in the middle of Times Square, and they have these little buggies that go by playing Christmas music, and we got whammed
Oh
because of
no.
the
I love that you were all together for it.
we all we all heard it. We all stopped in our tracks and looked at each other, and we're like, "What? Whammed." Um, so that's the noise that I talk about that surrounds us in Advent, because the culture just moves from Thanksgiving into, actually, it probably just moves from Halloween into
Into
Christmas.
Christmas.
And
Just before
I've
you.
really tried to be intentional with my Advent,
Mm,
um, but I look forward to the Christmas hymns.
mm,
And it's funny how it hits me different every year. Like, I love "O Holy Night." I think it's so beautiful.
mm.
But most recently, I have really just been, it's kind of funny to say, but praying with, "Do you hear what I hear? Do you see what I see?"
Oh, I love that.
Because of the different layers of the evangelization that's going on in there. Starts with the shepherds, and it moves on into finally the king announcing to the kingdom that
That
there's
song
a greater king.
That song is very special to me because that was my
Really?
eighth grade. Excuse me. That was my eighth grade choral solo.
Really, Allison? So, it's a
Yes,
powerfully beautiful
it is.
evangelization, isn't it?
It is, and to think back that a public school made that such a special song. Like I would sing, and then the whole choir would do the echo. Actually, I think it ended up went from solo to duet to treat, like it kind of built as it went. Anyway, regardless, the fact that a public school, because back in
Mhm.
this is the 70s, made that like one of their focal points of their choir is quite remarkable. Just kind of think back to that now. I hope it still gets played and sung in public schools because it's such a powerful. I haven't thought of that song in years. My goodness, I'm gonna have to pull it out when
Oh my
we're
goodness, every
recording.
time it plays, I listen to the Christian station,
Mm.
uh, maybe about half the time that I'm in the car, but I play it all the time now at Christmas because I want to hear the religious songs. I wanna hear the Christian songs.
Yeah.
But it's beautiful. It's beautiful to, what a way to incorporate that into your family, is
You know,
to, let Frosty have his time, but bring in some good hymns.
you actually just gave me a really great idea. I control the playlist in my house. I control my Christmas Eve playlist.
Oh.
Therefore, I think tonight the playlist may be just my Christian Christmas songs. And that is my subtle way of reminding every time I hear it, I will recenter myself. And I guess it needs to start with me. That was well, thank you, Miss Maria. You come with such wisdom.
Oh, such wisdom. And that's what we have. But we would love to hear what your Christmas traditions are in your home. So leave us comments, share with us on Facebook and wherever else we've got this loading. And Merry Christmas,
You
everyone.
Catholic Mom Community YouTube are there too. Actually, just one little plug while you're on Catholic Mom Community YouTube, check out the adorable video series we did on the Nativity. It is the Nativity from four unique points of view. It is a little angel named Alec, a little shepherd named Roy, a little donkey that we had to name Patrick because Patrick Peyton used to call himself Mary's donkey. And one of our colleagues is from Ireland, and so with his Irish brogue voiced this donkey, making it all the more amazing. And then we have the last one is Mary and Joseph's guardian angels, leading you
Mm.
right up into and including the Nativity. So Catholic Mom Community on YouTube for this beautiful uh, series. With the week of vacations coming up, right? Looking for something fun to do with your kids, but keeping Christmas alive, because we know Christmas in the Catholic Church is 8 wonderful days celebrated as one day. This is just a way to keep Christ in the after December 25th celebration of Christmas. Okay, sorry.
That's terrific. Well, what else is there to say but Merry Christmas?
Merry Christmas, everyone.